talk about some of these other sports first. Congratulations, Coach Jake. I think being the all-time winningest coach at UNI, it's a pretty good accomplishment. I know he's got a long ways to go though, so he's just getting started. I saw the thing. They play at 8 tomorrow. Is that right? So they get a little taste of yeah. So they get a little taste of what we get when we go to these open tournaments. Because you're getting up at about 6 a.m., getting guys down to weight, and then you got a tournament all day. So I don't feel sorry for them because I've been there. But hopefully you get those boys ready to go. So and also make sure you get out this weekend to the Dome, pack that place. The North Dakota State game. I tell you what, having a full house makes a difference. So get out there and support these guys. Tell you what, they're playing some good football and they're on a roll. So let's get out there and support these guys. And I know senior day is always a big day for seniors. They want to have that place packed. So get out there and support them. Wrestling. Now I need to talk about wrestling. All right. It was an okay weekend. I think the thing is when you get back out in competition, there's some things that you're looking for. Saw some good things, saw some bad things, saw everything in between. I think when you get an open tournament and you wrestle that many matches, you have 30 guys wrestling, you're going to see a little bit of everything. I did see a lot of fight. The good thing is we had guys that lost, but they came back and got third. I think we had 6 guys get third. That's not a position they want to be in, but that they'd come back and if they lost in the semis, they lost early, they'd come back and win 2 more matches. And that's very important for them building for their future and for our future. And that's how we want our team to be. No matter what happens, some adversity happens, we get beat, we still go out there and we battle and we come back strong. We had 6, I think, thirds and 5 firsts. Can kind of go through it a little bit, but it's about a mile into a marathon. I mean, that's what we are in this season right now. So as a coach, you don't panic. You don't panic at all. I think some people probably look at the results. What happened to this guy? What happened to this guy? What happened to this guy? And I'll tell you, we got to get better. I mean, that'll always be my response. It wouldn't matter if we would have had 10 champs and everybody would have won. We got to get better. Getting back out in competition is a good thing though, because then we get to see where guys are at, and kind of we can pinpoint some of the areas a little bit more. Because right now I think we're a little bit broad in in some of the things that we're working with the team, but individually now we can really pinpoint and we can kind of rifle shot. Hey, this guy needs these couple things, and now we go back and we get back to work. Getting down to weight again for the first time. Some of those guys struggled, so there's some things that some guys have to do better, and they know that. And now, do we make some adjustments or don't we? And I think that's where we're at right now, and we're going to make adjustments. We're going to be better. The team that we're at in November and the individuals that we're at in November are going to be nowhere near the individuals that we're going to have in December, January, February, and especially March. So individually, Dylan Peters had a good tournament. He the thing that I like that he's doing, and we worked on this in the off season, is he's starting to ride guys. In the finals match, he rode the guy for a minute and a half, and they ended up being a big point. I think he can open up against that guy a little bit more. He's very hard to score on. The kid from Missouri is, but he wrestled a very good tournament. Had a couple pins. Levi got started off a little bit slow, but kind of does what Levi does. Just stays in matches, stays in there in battles, and won a title. Josh Albert came in undefeated, through his high school career, and loses his second or third college match. So you see a lot about a guy. He came back and got third. So that tells me a lot about the kid and the kind of heart and guts that he has, and that he understands that it's a big picture here. When I was at Virginia Tech, a name that might be familiar is Brent Metcalf. The first tournament in his career, he lost a match too. And he ended up having a pretty good career. So, like I said, there's no panic there. And I think guys get a little bit worried. I lost a match. What am I going to do? You lost a match before. Now we figure out, what's happening. Are we not starting the match quick enough? Do we got to get better setups? What do we need to do? And we'll do that with him. But the thing is, he came back and got third. That's extremely important. When you get a kid that's won that much, sometimes you get knocked off, and it's like, I don't know what to do. But he knows what to do. He keeps his composure very well, and that was a good sign for his future. 41, Hodges ended up getting 6. We got to get someone to step up there, and that's kind of a weight class you're looking, and who's going to be the guy. He did some really good things throughout the tournament, him and Willers both, and then they did some things where you're kind of boy, we got to get better. We got to get better in there. They're both young, but being young is no excuse anymore because there's young guys winning out there all over the place. So we just got to keep bringing these guys along. 49, I thought Zach Witt had a pretty good tournament. Looked strong at the weight class, was really good on top, scored a lot of back points. We like guys scoring back points. I thought as a team we rode really well. He lost in the semifinals to a kid that's pretty good. A kid from Maryville that wrestles beat the D2 champ in the finals. So that kid's pretty good. But Witt's a guy that the more experience he gets, the better he's going to get. The more he gets down to weight and controls that weight, the better he's going to get. Jared Jensen, another guy who lost. He got headlocked and pinned early in the tournament, and he came back. I think he won 6 maybe matches in a row, hard-fought matches. Like I said, again, coming back and getting third is very important. That's a huge for him, and I think he wrestled 8 matches yesterday, so I think he's a little bit sore today. You get beat up a little bit wrestling that many matches, but we saw a lot of good things out of him. 65, Cooper Moore, another guy got pinned. Got pinned in the semifinals, got cradled up and pinned, boom. Match is done real quick. He came back and pinned his next 2 guys. He wasn't very happy about that. But you have to be ready when you step out there. And I think one thing with an open tournament, you got coaches everywhere, so it's not always the same maybe ideal situation for the guy because you got coaches everywhere, you got wrestlers everywhere. Maybe you don't have the same guy that you have in the corner, but it doesn't matter. It's a long day. I kept hearing that. Some of the people are like, some of the coaches are like, well, it's a long day. I'm like, what's a long day for both guys? It's not just a long day for our guys. It's a long day for both guys. So got to have some emotion and be able to get back up every time out there. And sometimes I don't think we responded like we needed to. I'm not talking about Cooper just in particular, but just I think in particular, some guys, the second round, third round, fourth round, you have to get back up every time. And that's really important in some situations. I don't know if we did enough, and we got to put that on us as coaches to have guys more ready. And we will. 74, I thought Kurt Moss wrestled a great tournament. Very controlled, very composed. The guy that he wrestled in the finals was a post-collegiate guy that he wrestled at Illinois and had a good career in Illinois. Stayed very controlled. Hit some really good reshots, and he was just strong the whole time. I thought Lux had a pretty good tournament too. But Kurt looked good. He looked strong. He's built up from 65. He was a 65-pounder last year. Now he's 74, but he looks strong at 74. He did a great job this summer. Cody Caldwell, 184. Looked good. He scored a lot of back points. When he opens up, I tell you what, he's really fun to watch. And we just want to keep him opening up more. And when he opens up, I tell you what, those points get going on the scoreboard almost like a pinball machine. They're just going. So we want him like that. We want him scoring points like that and wrestling like that. 97, we had 3 guys, I think, in the semifinals. One guy made the finals, Bartel, and one in the finals. Those other 2 guys, and they ended up going for 5th and 6th. Crum was a little dinged up, so we didn't wrestle that 5th and 6th place match. But that's something where you got to be able to respond from a loss. When you lose in those semis, you got to be able to respond and get back up on that horse right away. And then heavyweight, Blaze. I tell you what, I've been telling you, and I said in my press conference that Blaze is one of the funnest heavyweights to watch. I tell you what, I don't like him playing the heavyweight game. And if anybody knows what the heavyweight game is, and anybody can probably imagine, there's 2 heavyweights standing there looking at each other, and that's not him. He's a guy that needs to be open up his offense. He needs to be moving in and out. He needs to be attacking and scoring because that's where he's good. And he's got to use that motor that he has. And he didn't do that in especially the semifinals. Didn't do that at all. I think he hit 1 good attack and scored. So if you hit 1 good attack and score, I think you need to hit 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or how many he needs to do to open up that scoreboard. He did beat the kid from Missouri that's ranked ahead of him for 3rd and 4th, so that's good that he came back that way. But I tell you what, when he opens up, he's the funnest heavyweight to watch. So if you see him and you see Blaze, I don't know if you guys can. He's pretty hard to miss. But if you see him, tell him, hey, open up. We love when you open up because we want him opening up and scoring points. Other than that, I guess any questions?